This is right out of the Constitution. Only Congress has got power to declare war. We've been at constant war in my lifetime, but Congress hasn't declared war since December of 1941. So how do these wars keep happening? Trillions of dollars here and there every year. 20 years in Afghanistan. Now Afghanistan supplies the world with 90% of its heroin, and the Taliban is still in charge. Pulled out of there and started picking on two superpowers. What's up? It's not a conspiracy theory when it's right out in the open, in black and white and in writing. Let's take a look at who these people are. I'll let them tell you who they are.
RAND, of course, is a nonprofit, nonpartisan research organization. We have a very broad research agenda, and it's supported by a very broad array of public sector and philanthropic sponsors. Our longest and deepest strategic relationships are the ones that we've had for more than 7 decades with the Department of Defense.
So funded with tax dollars and funded by the military-industrial complex. In 2018, RAND Corporation delivered to the Department of Defense this paper on how to destabilize Russia, and that's what we're following. So this is RAND's prerequisite questions. What are Russia's vulnerabilities? 2, how can we exploit them? 3, almost as an afterthought, what would the costs be? This report examines a range of possible means to extend Russia. As of 2018, National Defense Strategy recognized the United States is currently locked in a great power competition with Russia. Now, this paper is filled with 100 of these bullet points, one of which is entitled Undermining Russia's Image. It's easily done, by way of the media, show an apartment building blown up, and here it suggests boycotting the World Cup soccer tournament. Here the suggestions start getting a little bit heavier, repositioning our ballistic missile defense systems. Does anybody remember when Russia wanted to put nuclear warheads in Cuba? This is the RAND Corporation suggesting that we put tactical nuclear warheads within striking distance of Moscow. For 8 years, I've watched this guy continue to warn the West to stop moving tactical nuclear weapons closer and closer to the border of Russia. Over and over and over. Now, he hasn't done anything except for have power. Again, here's part of the wording out of the report. How do we go about destabilizing Russia? Here's my favorite one. Such cost-imposing options could place new burdens on Russia. Ideally, although not necessarily imperative, heavier burdens would be placed on Russia than on the United States for pursuing those options. Read that. Takes a PhD from RAND to come up with that. While we're burning down Russia, hopefully we don't burn down the U.S. How many times have we seen Putin give a statement to Western media? Here he asked the question, did we put tactical nuclear weapons on the border of the United States? And Putin answers his own question, no.
Нет.
In case you missed it.
Нет.
Now Russia has stopped its pipeline to Europe, and here comes winter. They're expecting people to literally freeze to death in Europe. American economy is tanking. I tell you the truth, I think that's part of the plan, but I don't think they would put that in writing. I think the idea is to crash Russia and crush the world economy at the same time. Blame Russia, maybe bomb them, maybe not. Previously, part of the war for profit machine, this is Dr. Mark Esper, our honorable Mark Esper. He is our Secretary of Defense. He's there to start a war with Russia. And war is what he's going to get. And the American people are going to pay for it like we've never paid for it before. And he couldn't care less. That's not his concern in the least. His job is to get a war off the ground, and that's what he's going to do. Go online, type in definition of fascism. It comes up with some nonsense about it being a far-right authoritarian government led by an evil dictator. The real and original definition of fascism was simply a merger of corporate and governmental powers. That's what's happening here. Everybody in the Department of Defense is Raytheon and GE and the war machine. The year I was born, there were 53 independent news stations. Today, there are 6 media outlets that control over 93% of all the information you get. They can hide an entire war in Asia. In World War II, Berliners still thought they were winning the war when they looked out the window and saw Russian soldiers in the street. We're being lied to left and right, and this is the big one. This is a fascist operative that should be found guilty in the next set of Nuremberg trials.